Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Scorpio is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider hitting the subscribe button, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Scorpio, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. We start with love. Start with the Two of Cups. Now, there was a card that jumped out of the pack. That card was the Sun. Okay, so you have this enlightened, divine consciousness behind you. I think it's leading you toward love. Okay, I think that this is about an inspiring, enlightened, divine connection with someone or something. The Two of Cups is the urge to merge. You're feeling, or you will be feeling, this intense, overwhelming spiritual desire, a yearning from your soul to merge with something. Whether it's a new path, a person, a place, a thing. Let's put this card into a little bit of perspective. Okay, these two cards, we're going to use them as a combination. Okay, and we're gonna continue. So now we've got the Empress. Oh, look at that. A divinely inspired union leading to the healing, leading to love, leading to the Empress. Wow. You got the Moon card underneath you. You've got, I've been doubled, Two of Wands and the Lover's card. And the Knight of Pentacles. Your future is looking different than you may have imagined it to look. Got a Queen of Wands. This is your general energy. This is where we begin here, and we got a Queen of Wands as your general energy. You got a Four of Pentacles, another double. Got the Fool and the Six of Swords. This is a very odd reading. It's already starting out pretty strange. I usually don't fumble a card while I'm giving my intro. I'm usually not pulling out two cards at a time. This is unique here for you. I think this is going to be absolutely marvelous. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. Then I'll be done handling the cards for the day. This is going to go over here with Mr. Ed, our little horse, right on top. We're not going to look at that one until the very end. So no cheating, Scorpio. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading, so don't even ask. If you have a prediction, though, if you have a guess or a hunch, put that in the comments down below, okay? Let's look around the room. You've got some really, really great energy here. A lot of major arcana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 major arcana energies. Then we've got fire, air, and we've got earth. Oh, we've got water. Well, no, I miscounted. 1, 2, 3, right? 4 and 5. And then we've got fire, water. I forgot about that, Two of Cups, water. And we've got air and we've got earth. So very balanced energy. I think we're a little heavy on the fire. And I think that it's, the Queen of Wands has to sort of yield a little bit. The Queen of Wands is going to kind of calm down on certain energies in order to give way for this divinely inspired union that's about to take place in your life. You're about to come in contact with your true love. Doesn't have to be romance. Put your pitchforks away, but it could be, right? It might be. We even have the Lover's card. We have the card of motherhood. We have the card of the Sun, right? Love. This could be a union between a parent and a child. You know, this could be like a reunion of sorts. We could be talking about the bond between a parent and a child. You could be talking about family bonds generally. We could be talking about a revelation about what your heart really, really wants you to merge with. And then the subsequent merging of that energy, giving rise to this Empress energy. The Empress is the one that takes care of everything. The Empress is the one that has to bleed, sweat, and cry for the sake of this relationship, for the sake of this world, for the sake of this life, right? This is the one who is taking care of everything. This is a card of healing. This is a card of health. This is the card of, like, everything is going to just be good, okay? Through this union, this divinely inspired urge to merge with something, only good things will come. Well, there may be challenges and things we got to figure out. We may have to have conversations and stuff and work stuff out on a human level, but only good things are coming from this union, okay? And we see that echoed in all of these cards with the Lover's card. We see that in the Sun, the Two of Cups. We see that in the Empress. We even see that in the Fool. We even see that in the Knight of Pentacles looking at the future, right? Inside, there's a little bit of fear. That makes total sense, right? You kind of look at we have the two jackals, jackal-headed gods. They're both Anubis, or there's some debate whether one's Anubis and one's somebody else. But anyway, we got the two in this card, but we have the two here. And these two, there's a union. In these two, there's kind of a separation. They're not touching each other, right? So to me, it kind of feels like we have this kind of, we have a fear, a hesitation, a reluctance of entering into this thing. Well, what if they don't like me? What if it doesn't work out? What if I can't make it work? You know, what if I put all my heart and soul into this and the other person then decides they don't want it anymore? You know, that sort of thing. So there's always this fear. Anytime we're about to step onto a path, there's a hesitation. We're going into a dark, scary forest. When you come to the edge of a dark wood, keep going, right? Because that means we're doing something really big here. This is the card that says we're on the cusp of a very important change, a very important shift in life. And I think in a way, finally, you know, I think it's like we've been struggling and struggling and struggling and searching and searching and searching with our Two of Wands, right? Mars and Aries. We finally arrived at the edge of this dark wood. And for a moment we hesitate because it's dark and scary. We can't see what's on the other side of this decision. It's a doorway that is just pitch black. We cannot see the other side. Well, we see the answer right here. There's that little sun card, their little sun disc, solar disc at the bottom of the card here. And it's saying that, yeah, the future is going to be dark until we arrive there. We're not going to know until we go. That we'll never experience the truth of this. We'll never experience this divine love, this union, this reality, until we take a step into that dark, scary forest and we see. Because we are the light, right? And so we're taking a chance on the sunshine. And then, of course, you know, the fear is within us. Once we take the step forward, we get all sunshine, love, pleasure, all the good things, right? It may appear like a dark, scary forest. Once we get inside and our eyes adjust to the light, this is what we see. So it's frightening now because we haven't taken the step yet, because we're on the threshold of a really, really big change, okay? The Sun, the Two of Cups, and the Empress. There is an enlightened, a very clear feeling of love here, a desire to unite with something. Yeah, and this could be, again, could be a family thing. It could be the path that you're on. It could be between potential lovers. It could be a reunion with a family member or with our kids, or, you know, something along these lines. I do feel like there's a person, you know, but this is love. It's love that's keeping you on this path, and it's what's allowing this path to bear fruit. Okay, again, the Empress is a kind of maternal energy. Okay, and so it feels like this is something that we're taking a chance on. We've been working very, very hard to reach this point of even having the enlightenment to know what we want to merge with. And now we're getting this confirmation that the search is finally over. The struggle, right? The fight, the two of Wands back here in your recent past. This is us fighting to find our path. This is us striving with ambition to try to figure out, the heck, what am I doing here? Or like, what's my purpose, you know? we've been searching for love, of a divine nature. Well, maybe romantic, maybe platonic, maybe divine love, self-love. We don't have to pigeonhole love, right? Love is love. Yeah. All sorts of love out there. The Two of Wands is kind of like looking for that. They're both twos, right? And we've been searching for the thing, and I think we find it here. Okay, this is the kind of love that is going to soften even the hardest of warriors. We have the relationship between Mars and Venus. Venus was the only one that was able to, and of course this is the Empress. This is a Venus card, right? Venus was the only one that could calm Mars down, that could get Mars to take off the armor, set down the weapons and relax and have a good time. Venus was the only one that could sort of that could tame that martial energy. Okay, so it could be that in your past there was this very ambitious energy, very hardworking, take no nonsense from anybody, really like a very ambitious, striving, maybe in business, maybe in life. Is really really hardcore, this one. And I feel like this was you fighting and struggling and marching through the forest and trying to find your way. Now that you've found it, that Venus energy is sort of like, okay, I can put down the weapons, I can put down the armor, I can take the helmet off. The knight of the Holy Grail can now just kind of be the fool again. The fool in love, This is a time of healing. This is a time of prosperity for you. This is a time of everything just kind of feels good. There's nothing now, nothing I need to fight for. There's no war out there for Mars to need to be involved with. Venus is just going to calm Mars down. Mars is going to say, what weapons? I don't even, what tools? What armor? What chariot? I don't even need it. Okay. But it's a choice that you have to make if you're going to embrace this energy or not. Because there's a hesitation. Maybe we like the striving, fiery, this is, Mars and Aries, right? Maybe we like this kind of energy. We like this fight. Maybe it's not a matter of whether we like it. Maybe this is just all we know. Maybe we've been fighting and struggling for so long that we don't know the other way. So I feel that there is that shift for you, especially when we talk about the Queen of Wands there. But the Lover's card is a choice, that we're inspired to say yes to something, to unite ourselves with something. Maybe it's a spiritual path. Maybe this is between ego and true self. Maybe this is coming back, returning to the family. Maybe this is realizing that our life of struggling and striving, I just want a simple life of kind of just doing my hobbies, doing the things I like to do. I don't need these big, lofty goals. Maybe the big, lofty goal is kind of what we're achieving, right? And maybe this now is it's kind of like you've been working towards something for a long time. You finally are achieving it. It's time to accept that, embrace that, and not stay stuck in that fire energy, you see. This is somebody that says, okay, I'm going to put on my mad face now because I got to go out and I got to strive to be successful. I got goals to achieve, right? But then I achieve that goal, but I'm still wearing the mad face. It's like, no, we got to take it off now. We got to soften ourselves, right? We kind of we need the water energy. And it's interesting that there's not a lot more water here. I feel like there's a difficulty for us to take the armor off and to accept the fact that this is what I've been working toward. This is what I've wanted. Now I have it, and I don't need to keep striving for it. I don't need to keep looking. I don't need to keep fighting for it. I have it now. And sometimes it takes time to transition out of that energy. You spend a long, hard day at work. It takes a minute to get home and unwind and become the family person. Does that make sense? You spend a lifetime fighting and struggling, and then suddenly you get your goals, right? And life becomes good, life becomes easier. we still have that very like hardcore mentality. Okay? And so that feels like it's kind of like your fight's over. That quest is over now. You've done it. You've succeeded. You've come home. You can put the lance and the shield and the sword down and take the armor off, and you can embrace this. But it is a choice. Okay? It's a choice that we're going to make. The Knight of Pentacles is now looking into the future and seeing not a lifetime of struggle, not a lifetime of fighting and this kind of Two of Wands conflict, dominion struggle. It's looking at the future and seeing a different kind of life. This is your ability to look ahead and see a different kind of future for yourself. Yeah. Because the future back here is a lot different than embracing this and seeing the future now. Oh, it looks a lot different, doesn't it? This is going to be absolutely great. Path of the Serpent. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. Readings are totally free. Your general energy is the very ferocious Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands does not like the water energy. The water is kind of antagonistic to the fire here. The Queen of Wands is struggling because that's what I do. I'm a fighter, right? Every day is a fight, and I wake up ready to fight, and that's where I've gotten comfortable, because that's where I feel like I have purpose. I have meaning here. I have a duty. I have to get up every day and fight, and that's my nature now. That's who I've become. So the Queen of Wands doesn't like satisfaction because it extinguishes the fire. This is a very good card. It's kind of saying like, I'm doing something because it's my purpose to do it. I feel a certain satisfaction in the struggle, in the fight, doing the hard work that I'm doing. That's where my satisfaction is. I don't need the rewards. I don't need the love. I don't need the accolades. I don't need the hot bath and the bowl of ice cream later. I'm doing this because it's my nature to do it. Okay. But what if the Empress is here to say it's not really your nature? This was a role that you took on. This was a mask. This was the mad face that you put on so you can go out there and you can be hardcore in the world. But now is the time to accept the rewards and to take that mask off, to take that armor off, and realize the comfort or the healing or the joy or the beauty, the bliss of life. The last thing that the Queen of Wands wants is the Ten of Cups. Does not want to be fulfilled, because then it takes away the joy of striving, right? Doesn't like to go to the buffet and eat all the food and then get full and say, I'm full now. It means I can't eat. I'm not hungry. This card likes the hunger. It's very Mars energy. Mars, right? The Roman god, or the Aries, the Greek, the gods of war, They just want the war. They want the fight. They don't want it to ever be over. They don't want a peaceful ending. They just want to fight, And that's kind of where this card is as well. So I feel like this is what's ending for us. It's finally over. The struggle, finally over. Okay. The Four of Pentacles is the feeling of security in the environment. That if we feel this safety, security, and integrity of the Four of Pentacles, it lets us kind of feel safe taking off the armor. If we feel like we're still on the battlefield, well, no, I'm not setting down my shield. I'm not taking the helmet off. I'm still a knight. I'm out here questing. We're arriving home. We're arriving home with that Four of Pentacles. And we're saying, I can just be here at home now. I don't have to be the warrior. I can be the poet. I can be the lover and not the fighter. The warrior poets, right? When we're in poet mode, we don't have to be in warrior mode. We can write poetry about being the warrior, We'll always be the warrior. But I think we have to be able to embrace the softer side of ourselves. The gentle, the more sensual, the more loving, the more the nurturing and caregiving side of life. We've got to accept that, and we've got to be that. I really think this is, I think warrior poet really does kind of sum up that you almost feel like there are two antagonistic energies in us. Oh, we can be both. right? But you can't be, the poet out on the battlefield. Well, maybe not. Or the warrior with the pen and paper to write the poetry. Well, that's, I think it's timing. It's knowing what's appropriate, in the circumstances. So I think the Four of Pentacles is us realizing that our lives, that we have arrived somewhere, and we can take off that mask, even if it's only temporarily. I feel like it's more than temporary, although when we get the Four reminds us that everything is temporary. So in a way, we got to feel this. We've got to enjoy this goodness while it's here, because who knows how long it will last. But with the Knight of Pentacles, I think we're looking at the future and we're thinking, this is going to be my path now. I want to shift toward this life. I don't want to fight. I don't want to struggle anymore. I want to live the good life. I just want things to be okay, And the Fool, to me, kind of feels like the knight who has set the sword down. What I always say about the Fool, anytime we get the Fool and we get the Ace of Swords, right? I say once the Fool gets the Ace of Swords, this Fool becomes a knight, right? Suddenly it's got a quest. I feel like what we're doing now is we're sort of going the opposite way. We're setting the sword down. We're taking off the armor. We're setting the quest down. Yeah. We're setting the quest down now. But that's kind of the unwanted energy. The Fool, vulnerable. You see the position of the Fool? This isn't really, this seems like kind of we're sort of, we're open and vulnerable with the Fool, right? Just that posture is kind of off balance. Our feet aren't on the ground. We're kind of tangled up in stuff. And we're not in our fighting stance, We're not like ready to go. This is kind of the opposite of that. This is just vulnerable, we're splayed out. We're just lounging here, So this is kind of difficult for us to relax, I think. It's difficult for us to come home and feel safe, taking off that mad dog mask, I think sometimes we need to set the quest down. For how long? Well, I don't know. That's up to you. I feel like something is occurring in your life now where maybe we're seeing a different path for us. Maybe this is it. Maybe the quest, maybe it's really literally saying your quest is over. Now you can put the quest down. You can put that Excalibur sword, that Ace of Swords down. But that's the difficulty, right? Because then we're open and vulnerable. And we're not always ready. Someone that's always walking around, kind of always on edge, always looking over their shoulders, always like ready for an attack. It's good. We want to be aware. You want to keep your head on a swivel. You want to know your surroundings. You want to be paying attention, right? But if we're like that 24 hours a day, we're going to be really high, strong individuals, So I like the Fool in that position. But the Six of Swords at the end there, it's a card of balance and harmony. It's a card of science. It's a card of, we've got to do what's reasonable for us. We've got to be able to make sense of things and have a balance, right? Maybe it's like, I don't need to be on the quest anymore. But I'm also not going to be a complete fool, that I'm still going to be paying attention. It's like someone who's maybe this is you, I don't know if you're in law enforcement and then you retire from law enforcement. It's you still got that kind of like that detective's eye, that investigative kind of observation, but you're also retired from it. So it's like it's an interesting balance. It's an interesting shift, right? I think this is also part of the plan. What was the plan? The plan was for you to have a quest, have goals, achieve those goals, and then what? Live a happy life, right? Feel good, enjoy what you've achieved. So we have to ask ourselves, what is the plan? What is the plan now, right? Because sometimes we get so wrapped up in the fighting that we forget the plan. Though the plan was to fight until I achieve something, or I don't have to fight anymore. But then, like any warrior, any martial type of energy, we get stuck in that fight energy, and we forget that there were steps that had to be taken after that. Okay. Sometimes we get caught up in that energy. We think that was the only the only plan. Let's look at the mystery card, yeah. I like this energy for you. I really love these cards. I really, really do. I'm so happy. The Sun and the Two of Cups and the Empress too. The sunshine, that's the clarity. I think that's us realizing that, oh wow, you know what? I have achieved something. That I have arrived somewhere. So what's the mystery card going to be? Ten of Cups. Well, Four of Cups. That's okay. To me, in this context, to me, the Four of Cups is our kind of reluctant acceptance of it. It's kind of like, okay, I'm easing into it. It's a shifting. It's a blend of energies. I'm getting there, but something I got to lean into. It's not just going to be an overnight shift. Accepting the refreshment, accepting the love of the Empress, accepting the love of the Lover's card, of the Two of Cups. It's kind of like a kid, like a child who's angry, right? Sitting under the tree with arms folded. And then you put some fun things, you put a little ice cream, put a little toy in front of them, right? And you just back up. And the kid might stay angry for a while, a few minutes. Start looking at the toy every little bit. Kind of start eyeing, might scooch closer to the toy, you know. Eventually start playing with it. Eventually it's just completely a fool, rolling around, laughing, playing, and it's made that shift. So it's kind of a gradient, you know. It takes a bit to phase in and out of that energy. Okay. And that's why I feel like this. It's kind of we realize that, okay, it takes me a minute to get comfortable. You know, and this is again confirming that. We get home from a long hard day, we can't automatically flip a switch and suddenly we're in family mode. That sometimes it takes a little bit of time to phase out of one and into the other energy. And I think the older we get, the longer it takes to phase in and out. Yeah. But this is a very strong confirmation. Now we're going to do an extended reading. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link up top and there's a link down below. New readings for Scorpio, Wednesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please click the subscribe button. These readings are totally free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.